Now that we're recording, we'll hand things over to Jamie Bogdash, who will give us an overview of Consortia Manager. Jamie, are you ready?
Yes, well, I have to share my slides first. Let me, um, okay, let's see. It looks like people are coming in as well. Okay, can everybody see the Consortia Manager Basics slide?
Yep.
Excellent, thank you so much. So welcome, this is Consortia Manager Basics. For those of you who have used the system quite a bit, it's still, I'm sure, complicated system, so helps to have more information. And then anybody new, hopefully this will give some guidance. All right, so when you log into Consortia Manager, you're going to get to your dashboard, which has kind of access to everything from here. It's going to be the summary of all the renewals. When you first at the top of the screen, you'll see newly added renewals. That is a really helpful section because it's everything that's brand new. You should be getting emails from the system about that, but just in case, you can always log in. You'll see what's newly added, which is usually things that need attention if you are not just letting it automatically renew. I should say everything automatically renews unless we send out a message like the big journal packages. So no action is an automatic renewal. You can go to that newly added and click on the basket icon, which we'll go into to add anything. So from here, you can manage your renewals if you don't want to get too deeply into the system. But we're going to go deep. So right below the newly added items, you'll see the latest emails from the system, just in case you want to go through and check through any of that. It's pretty formulaic and mostly just to let everyone know. Sometimes there's more detailed information, but mostly it's just that the renewal is available and the deadline, which is also listed in the system. A big section that's going to be helpful that you can access from the top bar would be the catalog. And the catalog is going to have every agreement. This is, sorry, I feel like I went to the wrong spot already. Let me double check. Dashboard. Yeah, okay. Actually, if you go down your dashboard, I apologize. There's some more stuff in the dashboard. It can give you things that are pending, things that are accepted, canceled, and then the agreement overview for everything that you have been subscribing to for the past 3 years. You can get deeper into it, but again, the dashboard is just kind of an overview. Okay, I'm going to go forward. And then if you go a little bit lower, you can see a bar graph of everything from the past 10, 13 years, and then most recent subscriptions. And then a little bit of a, different graphs, whatever your learning style it is and what helps out. But it's kind of just basic overview of different things. The total spending can be really useful just as a quick guide and any recent actions, just so if you have forgotten where you're at in the process. Okay, so now to the product catalog. This is where all of our products are found. This is a listing of all of the agreements and products for the entirety of the Alliance. And it even has some that we don't subscribe to anymore. It has everything, but it's a great place to look through. You can look, they're listed by products, they're listed by agreement. You can search by date. You can search by deadline to see what deadlines are coming up. There is a lot of information here. If you want to just see what your items are available and has prices, you can click on the has prices button at the top, and it will show where your institution is at and what pricing you have. If you would like to request a quote to start any subscription, this is the best place to do it. You can click request price here. It's best here because we have set it up so in the email that it sends to us, it will also have your FT and information about your institution, and that fast tracks it so that when we request information and a quote from the vendors, we already have that information set. If you want to just email us, that is fine too, but this is the quickest and most information clear way to do it. It also allows you to see the deadlines, though I do see they have, so the deadlines from the previous year, if it is a previous year agreement. If you are able to request 2 to 4 weeks ahead of time or get an idea of when the renewal is closing by the deadline, you can see when would be a good time to request pricing if you're joining at the start date. If you need a prorated pricing, it is absolutely fine to request any time of year, and we'll work through that. Even if you see the deadline is the next day, we can work with the vendors. We'll work through it, but there's always the ideal. And the ideal is within that deadline. Also gives you an idea of when to make changes, upgrades. If you already have a product and you just want the upgraded pricing, the deadlines are really helpful. So you can add your renewals from here when you click on the has pricing. If you see that N under the type, if it's a new product, you have to manually check out. Our system does automatically renew anything, but it has to be a product you've already subscribed to, or else it's not a renewal, it's something new. So if you click that little shopping cart icon, it'll take your product to your cart. And from here, you'll see the items were added to the basket on the top. You click that basket. And then again, for any N, the big bright blue N, it is great if you can check that out, because that way you know that you've renewed, you know that you've added it, you are officially subscribing to it. Anything you put in the basket is great if you can check it out, because sometimes there can be complications, but definitely anything new. In this section in the shopping cart, it also allows you to add a lot of information for any PO numbers or any identifying information you need on your invoice. That reference section is the spot to put that. It will give you any identifier you need for your own system. And then under billing options, we'll go over in your personal account where you can change anybody who has access. And billing, you can put in a billing address for a third party billing, such as Harassowitz or EBSCO. And in that billing option section, if you have added that to your profile, you'll have the option to choose that, which makes it very easy if you have a Harassowitz contact that you would rather us bill to. You can also tell us these things and we're able to work them out, but this is an expedited and manageable way. And then lastly, billing cycle. You are able to choose a billing cycle for anything that is being invoiced in June or July. Outside of that timeline, we do not have billing options. If you have a unique situation, again, reach out to us at eresources@orbiscascade.org, but otherwise, the system will only allow for June or July choices. And then once you're here, it does not automatically check itself out. You have to click the boxes and then place orders. And once you do that, you are officially locked in. You cannot make changes though once you've done that. So you do have to reach out to us if something has happened afterward. All right. So then the subscriptions page is also on the top of the top bar, and the subscriptions page are just your subscriptions. It's not the whole product catalog. So subscriptions are just your institution, and product catalog is every product that is in our catalog. If you are looking under subscriptions, there's a lot of information you can choose from. It gets confusing because it automatically puts the start date when you click on there and it'll say 2025. So you will not see anything you have not subscribed to yet this year, which is most things because 2025 is the future. So Oftentimes, people will click in there and not see an old product, and that is because it automatically adds that date. So make sure if you're looking for everything, take that date off, or do a larger range. You can do, I think we have things back to 2018. You can do 2018 to 2025 and see the full range. You can also toggle information, and you can see that chart pulled down there, and you have a lot of different information where you can see billing address, see if where you were billing it, list prices. There's quite a bit of information. I will say invoiced, it should not show. It will just show yes to invoiced. It won't have a date. We do not invoice through Consortia Manager. That is all done by our amazing accountant, Amy. So any date that used to show on there is just when I sent it to Amy. So there's a lot of factors behind that, mostly including vendors sending us an invoice so that we can invoice you all. So we didn't want to make that confusing. So that information, not part of the system. But you can see quite a bit of other information. So if we want to go back into the catalog, you can access agreements and information about products and agreements from both the subscription and the catalog page. But because the catalog page has every agreement, it is easier to go back to there to learn more information about the different agreements and products. So once you, I'm going to go back one. If you click on any agreement, it'll take you to an agreement page, which is the detailed information about that agreement. And we hold a lot of information in here. So each agreement page will have a summary, and this has any information about the product and overall agreement given to us by the vendor. We update this information quite a lot, but if you see anything that is out of date, please let us know. We want the most accurate and up-to-date information. Any changes that have been that have occurred to the agreement are recorded in this summary or sometimes in the pricing info. There's quite a bit like JSTOR, Art Store, all of the things that have changed over the past few years. That information will be updated in here so you can get a full history of the products in the agreement. For the large journal packages, they have even more details because they are more complex. There's third-party invoicing will be listed there. And you'll see here, OHSU is a third-party invoice for this product. We try to keep all of that information. So it's important for you to see anything that's changed, or if you see something about your institution that needs updating, please let us know, because this is all the details for all of the information. There should be a tech rep. It's blocked out in this image, and any sort of representative contact. So we are keeping that updated so you're able to reach out for any questions you have directly with the vendors. And then pricing information. Again, this should have updates on pricing if there are any sort of multi-year offers like with New York Times. Quite a variety of things. We are transparent at the Alliance, so the price lists are all available within these agreements. I cut it off for the sake of space, but the annual reviews will have all of the price lists we have for over the years. You can click on those and download the file and get to see the pricing for everyone who subscribes through the Alliance. It is good to note that even if you join and you're a similar size institution, the pricing might still be different based off of how long people have subscribed to the product. A discount to the list price now is not going to be the same as someone who's had that same consortia discount for years. So it's a good guide about the pricing, but it might not be the same since longevity affects the pricing. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and this is something I think most people don't utilize. I'm not sure. I'd be interested to find out if anyone has utilized these sections and how it works for everyone. But if you scroll down to any agreement and you go to the bottom, you have the option to add your own institutional notes. your own files, shared files, messages, anything that you want to keep about these subscriptions. We don't get a message on the Alliance end. We don't get a message. No members of the Alliance can see these. We can see it as staff, but it's not something we ever look for. It's quite takes quite a bit of time to log into someone else's view and look through it. So this is yours to save and utilize however you'd like. Again, would love to hear other ideas. I know New York Times has a contract that they make everyone sign. You can keep that there. Anything that would be useful, but it is there. It's at the bottom of all of the agreements when you scroll all the way to the bottom. Okay. And next we have reports. This is a really great section. You can run different reports. It's mostly two that are pre-done that are useful to anyone who's using the system. So at the top bar, you want to click on more and then go down to reports, and it will take you to this very simple report page. If you click on the approval reports, it will download a spreadsheet for you, and it gives you a breakdown of the current year and the following year. So now, right now, if you download it, you'll get 2024 and 2025, any pricing, timeline. It's a pretty comprehensive list of this year and next year's pricing. You can run more comprehensive reports, but it probably is similar, just different years you can choose by create new. And then the cost avoidant report, go to the next page. So if you just click on cost avoidance, you will get the information within the system. You'll get the list pricing and then the sales pricing, and then the difference, which would be the savings. You can choose which year, and then you can also export this and it will come out in a nice spreadsheet. We are working very hard to get all vendors to give us the list pricing. I don't know. I would recommend, if you ever are, I would recommend telling vendors this is very useful information. Many give it. Some say this is hard for them to provide. So we work very hard to urge all vendors to give this. As you can see, it's a pretty good amount. EBSCO always gives us all the information. So that's a really good amount of data that we have from them. But it is a great tool. If you ever have any questions with this or need a more years listed at once, but you would be able to export them. Okay. And then I'm going to let you know the help section is the little question mark on top. And right now, there is mostly the Consortia Manager walkthrough that was done in 2023. This one will replace it, and then there will be breakdown sections with each of these slides and the notes that I have on my end, so that if you would rather read through and see images instead of watching this entire presentation, there will be a breakdown of it over this winter. And then there is a user manual from Consortia Manager, but I do want to go through and check that one because I'm not sure if it has been updated since 2019. But we will work on that. But basically, this will all be the user manual. It should be the most up to date and what we utilize as the Consortia. So it's, we will have what the Alliance does and not just the general information. And now, this is everybody's individual profile. So if you go, apologies, if you go up to profile in the top right, you'll be able to get inside your profile. You will see everyone who is listed as a contact. You can add contacts anytime you want. You can choose what access they have. The FTE information will always be shown. This is our Alliance page, so we only have one subscription and one user, which is Leslie. So that's why we are an FTE of one, but you will see a more accurate FTE for your own institution. You cannot change the FTE. That is done once a year. That is council provided. So that is not an option to change, but we do update it and keep the most factual information. But you are able to change your contacts, update. If you want to change the primary contact, if somebody has left your institution, you can go up to the edit library, and then you will go down to the primary contact person and choose who that primary contact person is. And then once you have done that, you can go and deactivate them on the main page if someone has left. And yeah, you can add as many people as you like. You can also update and change your IP addresses. It's just if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll have the option for IP addresses. It's a little bit confusing at first. If you need help with it, that is absolutely fine. But it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. You just have to be very, very accurate, which makes sense. And then here's also where, sorry, apologies. This is also down where the member primary contact, there's the address right below. You can add your institution's address, and then you can add a third party email address if you would like to be able to choose that during checkout. And that is the section you would do that. And that is an edit library. It's kind of the basic information about your institution. Okay, that is a lot of information. So this is my dog in pajamas, and we are ready for questions if anybody has any. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. And while people are thinking about their questions, for that fantastic overview, I do want to point out that while Jamie was working on this presentation, I was updating quotes procedures. You can in fact send quote requests through Consortia Manager. We weren't confident about that in early days, but I just wanted to correct my last presentation. Nothing quite like being wrong on a recorded public forum, but I will update all the documentation to reflect that right away. Thanks, Jamie.
Yes, we have had a lot of changes since 2 years ago when I did the last recording because learning the system and learning how we can use it. But I did set up a formulated email so that we get all of the information about the institution that a vendor would need. So it's a little bit smoother, but totally happy to take either request. Um,
I'm not seeing any questions. Jamie mentioned the cost avoidance reports, which are just a great feature of Consortia Manager. One thing that is a little bit of a compromise is that right now, cost avoidance runs per calendar year. Jamie and I are in intensive conversations with Consortia Manager as recently as yesterday morning, trying to get that changed, either a flexible date range or a setting for the fiscal year. But right now, in order to get a true fiscal year, you'd have to download essentially 2 years of cost avoidance reports and cobble them together. When we report for the consortium, we report on the last complete year of data that we have. All right, Jamie, I'm not seeing any questions or other reactions. Nobody's unmuted, so I think you're off the hook for now. Again, if you got questions about Consortium Manager for Jamie, eresources at orbiscascade.org is still the best place to send your inquiries to. And with that, thank you, Jamie. And Leslie, unless you've got any other updates for the group before we break for lunch, I'll thank everybody for joining us this morning for our morning panel conversations. And not seeing anything from Leslie either. I will say see you all at 2. Thanks, everybody.
okay.